Okay, we're going live. How'd that go? Live. We're live.
We're live? All right. Well, we're back. Real 2015 first conference. We're all things 3D. We're back on the show floor. We just had an amazing interview with Tatiana from Autodesk. She gave us the rundown all about Memento, her project. It's kind of her pet. Man, she really knew how to make complicated things sound simple. Over here, this is the drone demo area. And again, that's kind of where we left off on the show floor.
Yep.
About an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, they had this hexcopter out here just a moment ago.
There's one in the background over there. Looks like he ran out of juice. So let's keep walking. We got a couple interviews from these guys earlier. We haven't found out about Arup yet. Maybe we should find out about them.
Okay.
I don't want to touch it.
So this is the VR.
Okay.
Hi.
How's it going?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah? You're Arup?
Arab, yeah.
Arup?
Yeah, we're in engineering.
Oh, awesome. I'm Chris from All Things 3D. We're live on a Google Hangout right now.
Oh, fantastic. Nice to meet you. How are you?
Good. And can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing here and kind of like what you're showing?
Yes, well, I know mostly about our 3D printing work in metal for structures. This is from our visualization team. They have the Garden Bridge in London that's supposed to be built in the coming years in virtual reality for communication purposes, to communicate with the public and our clients, because it's a bit of a controversial project. And we have here some more augmented reality where we built this station in Hong Kong that's actually expanding a lot. And we're using the 3D model to test with users to see if they can find their way through the station. So we've used this, we actually put this up at the Venice Biennale last year, and we had thousands of people just trying to find their way through the station. And whenever we found a mistake, we could adapt in real time the wayfinding in the station. So we also did a wayfinding design, and by having people walk through this, we can solve all the problems before we actually implement them. So that's a great tool.
So it's like a shopping mall, and you can walk around and see kind of where problem areas. I could imagine a shopping mall would be a very complex thing to design from the ground up.
Yeah.
So you're able to actually walk around, see where problem areas are with the escalator or whatever, and implement them before you build it.
Absolutely. And this is a train station that deals with 1 million passengers a day. So it's big, and it went from, I think, from 8 to 48 escalators, so it's expanding a lot. So to understand what that means, we built this model and we're testing it on people.
Where is a train station that needs 48 or 1 million passengers per day?
Hong Kong.
That makes sense. Yeah. And then you have some 3D models. Can you tell us a little bit about these metal 3D models, maybe?
Yeah, I'm going to send on the other side. If that's okay.
Yeah,
so this is actually my work. I was working on a project in the Netherlands, which was a tensegrity structure, a big visible structure hanging above a shopping street with integrated lighting. Very beautiful, very nice, but we had these nodes connecting different elements, actually a lot bigger. These are scaled to 40%. And we had 1,200 design variations, which is a bit problematic from an organizational and cost perspective. We couldn't solve it on the project, but it inspired us to look into additive manufacturing or 3D printing in metal to see if we can actually use that for structures.
So is this over here has a similar node design? Is that the same sort of project?
It is a sort of a parallel project for my colleagues in Australia. They're working together with RMIT, and they're doing similar things, looking at automatically generated node designs and printing them in metal and for creating buildings. So it's quite fascinating.
Unbelievable. This is a really cool pieces here. I love it. Well, Thank you very much for sharing with us.
You're welcome.
And
Thank you.
and it's Arup Design, Arup.
Arab, we say.
And
yeah.
your website, your website is arup.com.
It is. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. So we'll just keep moving along. We saw Floored yesterday.
Yeah. So we went to
Mateo is here.
Yeah. So
Mateo,
let's go over to the
Tech Shop.
tech shop.
Yeah. Talked to one of the creators earlier today, and we'll see if we can squeeze in to the tech shop and get a little info. They've got a trailer here. How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. I'm Chris from All Things 3D,
Hi. How are you?
and and we're here. We were wondering if we could get a little interview and talk about the Tech Shop on Wheels.
Of course. Of course. So we're with Tech Shop. Tech Shop's a makerspace with 8 locations in the United States. Each location has about 20,000 square feet of $1 million worth of tools and software. So it's a place where you can build your dreams, make prototypes of new products, work on your own personal projects. And we're just rolling out this Tech Shop Inside mobile makerspace, partnered with Fujitsu on it. So this is our program where we're going to be bringing a small mini makerspace to schools, primarily K through 12, where schools may not have the budgets to create their own makerspace. We'll take it to them. We'll bring instructors. We've got curriculum already in place, so we can get the younger generation educated right now.
Well, let's take a little look.
So
Why don't we? So here's a look inside. It looks like we've got a vinyl cutter and some electronic stations, like soldering stations, some 3D printers, some laser
I'm
cutters.
going to bring over Mel, who's actually in charge of Tech Shop Inside. Come on over.
Hey, Mel.
Mel, I guess project lead and designer of the Tech Shop Inside mobile unit, first prototype, and the all subsequent ones that will be coming after this.
Oh, awesome. Great.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about the design and kind of what we're seeing.
Okay, so if you're familiar with Tech Shop, we're obviously 20,000. Like a brick and mortar Tech Shop is 20,000 square feet with like $1 million of tools, $20,000 of like the best software for designing stuff, with the goal of teaching anybody how to use the stuff. What we did here is we took a lot of the same processes, we took a lot of the machines and scaled them down, locked them in the trailer, designed in such a way that everything kind of unlocks. You can see there's wheels everywhere. And with this trailer, we can go hit a classroom of 30 kids. We can say the 3D printers, right? We can pop them onto a table and roll them out and turn the classroom or library or community center into a 3D print lab, and then send the other half of the class into here to use the lasers. Or maybe it's not laser day, maybe it's silicon casting day or wood shop day, or we're going to get some CNC machines here. Maybe the kids are designing PCB boards. What it allows us to do is really just, this is kind of the branch of the company that now can outreach with the goal. We're in a partnership with Fujitsu, and kind of the goal is to get kids, I mean, the machines are cool, but get kids how to understand to design for them, 2D, 3D CAD, all the good stuff, before they get to high school. Which means that these tools are accessible to them for life. We're going to be using open source and free software for the most part, and we're going to be guiding the kids to, hey, you know what? If you can't find a 3D printer, here's a website that, you know, we're printing glass or metal or silver or whatever you feel like printing in. So that in the same way that you or I are like, all right, I need a hammer or I need some wood glue, I go to a hardware store. So the kids kind of take for granted that this stuff exists the way that we take it for granted, you know, that wood shops exist.
Right. And so another great feature I noticed in here is a lot of this stuff looks pretty modular. Like you could pop
Yes.
this out. So, you know, if like you were saying, it's wood shop day, you could convert it into a kind of a more of a wood shop-esque.
absolutely.
So yeah, so tell us, how did you come up with this design? What programs were you using to come up with this design?
Honestly, I designed the whole thing in Autodesk Inventor. I had as soon as they said we're going to do this, I had an image of it in my head, but you can't, you know, you need to communicate it. One of the great things is this whole system is based off of 80-20 extruded aluminum. That's what these beautiful bars are. And you're right, it's totally modular, but it's not just modular to the point where everything locks out. It's modular to the point where it's like, okay, this shelving arrangement didn't work out, so I'm going to take it apart and use the same pieces to make something better. At Tech Shop, we know that every day you're in the field, you learn way more than you could ever. I can make the most beautiful model in the world. You get a bunch of 12-year-olds in here, and they're just like, "This is really dumb," and I'm like, "You're right. Let's redesign it." And what's cool is that we'll be using a lot of Autodesk software, so the kids can actually. I'm actually gonna be like, "All right, kids, this is my boring. I went to engineering school design. Give me something rad. We're gonna put LED panels up here. We're gonna put, we're gonna just really hack this trailer out and make it hackable." The kids can actually download the exact profiles for these, and if they design a better piece of furniture, well, I'll just go scrap mine and we'll remake it.
Awesome. Well, it's a great project, and really excited to see this take off. And I hope it takes off all across the country. And wish you the best of luck. And Mel, thank you very much for being on our program.
No worries, guys.
All right, we're gonna keep walking around here and kind of pick up and see what else we can see on the show.
Okay.
We've got Spot Scale. How's it going? Yeah, it's Chris from All Things 3D. We're live on Google Hangouts right now, and we want to find out. It's Ludwig,
Yes.
and we want to find out from Ludwig all about Spot Scale and what he's showing off at the show today.
So we're a Swedish startup. We use drones to fly over buildings and capture in 3D.
Unbelievable.
So we take thousands of images using a drone, a hexacopter, and we go around the building and we transform this into a 3D model. That can be used for real estate development. So you want to change reality to see how it might look like in the future.
Wow. And so what does typically a service like this cost?
So we started at about $5,000. So that's for a smaller building. But then we do the whole service. We go there, we capture the building, and we deliver a 3D model, which could be then used digitally in our apps or printed
In full color.
in full color. Yeah. So this is even snow on it.
And so do you have example data that you can go to your website maybe and pull down and kind of see what you guys have done?
We have a showroom where you can see the data, and you have to request to get sample data.
Got it. And where can we find more info out about you?
You go to spotscale.com.
Halide lights, maybe?
Hi.
I'm Chris,
Hi, Chris.
from All Things 3D. We interview. Ah.
All right.
So we've got a volunteer in here getting scanned.
Well, I don't know if he's actually. Did he volunteer or pay?
Right.
Did he pay or is he a volunteer?
You don't pay for the scan. The scan's free.
Really? And you.
We got a lot of scan. In 3, 2, 1.
Oh no, he just disappeared.
Where am I?
You are actually fairly close to the end.
And the scan is done. Awesome.
Pretty quick.
Cool.
Yeah.
Shapify.me.
Well, that's it. And he's gone. He disappeared.
done.
He was teleported.
Good
Oh, where
job.
did he go? Okay.
Awesome.
Well, hey, looks like about it. Let's see
So
what
that is kind of a lot of that. We pretty much covered the show floor.
let's see. Did we
I
talk
really
to
hope
these
that this
people?
becomes a regular event. It's been a really fun time.
So did we
A lot
talk
of really
to them?
great people, innovators here.
Did we talk to them yesterday? Do we remember?
How's it going? Are you from Mateo? Yeah. I'm Chris from All Things 3D. We're actually live on a Google Hangout right now.
Awesome.
Do you want to tell us about Mateo?
Yeah, Mataya is an augmented reality company. Basically, what we do is we take virtual content and we put it in the real world, usually through camera or video feed. There's several methods we can do this. We can either anchor content to images, or we can use point clouds, which actually take features from 3D environments to anchor digital content in there. Or we can do edge-based tracking. For instance, you see the BMW there. We load a CAD model in, and should we get some footage of this?
Yeah, let's check it out.
All right. Yeah, so this is a BMW demo that we made, and it's using edge-based tracking. We're basically loading in a CAD model of the vehicle, and then using that information, we can track it. And once we can track it, we can augment digital content on top of it. So here you should be able to see a door, headlights, and you can interact with it, turn stuff on, turn stuff off, open stuff, close stuff. And yeah, it's pretty stable, as you can see here. And it has some real use cases, like in the maintenance sector. If you're trying to work on a piece of complex machinery and we can track it, we can actually overlay virtual content on top of it to show you what you need to do, or give you instructions for a certain procedural task.
Awesome. And so this is an app, but it also, does it marry to, is there a computer version, or is it just for iOS, or what platforms are you on?
Absolutely. We have an SDK. It's open for developers. And then if you're not a programmer, we have a software suite. It's an AR authoring tool. It's called Creator, and it provides drag and drop experiences. If you don't know how to program and you want to make AR, I could show you that over here actually.
Awesome. Oh, and you've obviously have it on multiple platforms, kind of showing it off.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this is the standalone authoring tool. You basically just need to drag your image in, you drag your models in, and then you can place your content exactly where you want it with respect to the image. So if I want it sort of floating above, but I don't want it so big, say I want it a little bit smaller, try to get it right there in the center. Hit the preview tool, and then I'll grab the pretty cool.
Unbelievable. So it's augmented reality. That's what AR stands for. We're seeing a lot of growth in this sector, and awesome. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And what was your name?
Evan.
Evan from Mateo.
Yes.
Awesome. Best of luck for you.
There you go. Thanks.
So that pretty much wraps it up.
What we got going on
At Real
here?
2015, they're opening the beverage bar. Obviously, that means it's party time.
Party time. So that's about it, huh?
Yeah. So
Okay, let's go over and see that VR system. You see it on the guy's back. We can get some footage of that. So it looks like they have a Leap Motion on it.
looks like they have quite a lineup here.
Yep, so we'll get somebody else to try it out. So it's an Oculus Rift. Then they have a Leap Motion, which I've tried out. It actually is pretty cool because it allows you to interact with your hands. And it looks like they just got a standard laptop, which would make sense. So essentially, I could strap my Asus on my back and do the same thing. You get a big
It's
solar
got a
panel.
spinal cord.
You can put a spine. Yeah. But that makes sense. So I'm wondering what they're using for positioning. So obviously it's aware of your space. So maybe we can talk to them while that person is trying it. So you saw what we did this morning with Adam, right? So that is going into a goggle. No? Okay. It's a full panoramic video camera, 4K.
Oh, I see.
So we're recording everything here,
It's
and
like
then
a GoPro, but 360 degrees.
I see. Okay.
it's
Pretty fun.
fixed focus. And eventually YouTube, I think in the next month, is going to have the ability to upload this. So as soon as that becomes available, I'll upload it. And then you'll be able to, like we're recording right now. So we're seeing this, but you can turn the camera all the way around and look at yourself if you wanted to. Or the hey, let's go watch the woman here get strapped on.
She's putting on the pack.
Okay, so they're using the Kinect to provide the. So he's doing tracking now. So what it does is it captures her motion and then feeds it into the VR. So now she'll be able to move around because the Kinect is feeding information wirelessly. So it's for so I'm hoping to get my 6th Sense Nest. Remember, I was supposed to have it by now.
We want to see her face. That's really what we want.
Or when she's done with
See her
it.
reaction.
Did you hear in the news that there's research that's showing that VR can actually cause brain damage? Did you hear that? Yes. So if I remember correctly, you talked to the guy earlier. She's in a cave. In fact, if you look at it, let's go over here so I can grab her and see the cave. So this is what she's seeing. Excuse me. Yeah. She's had enough. Oh, I'm sick. Siobhan can't handle that at all.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, even we were talking. Carl Bass was saying same thing. I'm the same way. Like I can only handle the Oculus for so long. They haven't quite overcome that motion sickness part of things yet. But, so very
Okay.
cool.
Well, that's it. So
All right.
we
Well,
ready?
that brings
All
us.
right, so let's.
All right.
That would have been fun. Okay.
All right.
You ready?
We're signing off at Real 2015. This has been All Things 3D, and we'll see you next time. We'll see you either tomorrow or next week on All Things 3D.
I think we'll probably wait till next week. All right, and bye.